Let's just forget all those sci-fi movies about AI replacing humans for a second. What we're going to talk about today is something way more interesting, the art of co-creation. How do we stop looking at AI like some kind of magic black box and start treating it like a real creative partner? Let's dive in.
I mean, seriously, we are drowning in AI tools right now. They can do everything from generating incredible art to crunching huge amounts of data. But let's be real. Just because you have a fancy new hammer doesn't mean you can build a house, right? The real trick isn't what AI can do for us, but how we can build a process to create with it.
And this is where the real work actually begins. We have to stop treating AI like a slot machine, just pulling the lever again and again, hoping for a jackpot. We need to get way more intentional, more structured in how we collaborate. It's all about turning this incredibly powerful tool into a genuine partner in crime.
So how do we make this partnership a reality? Well, we start by bringing AI down to earth and putting it to work in our day-to-day. You can think of it in two ways: as a powerful engine that just boosts our efficiency, and as a safe space to rehearse our wildest ideas.
Okay, so the easiest place to start, the most obvious win, is using AI to take care of all those small repetitive tasks that just eat up a designer's day. I'm talking about things like Adobe's content-aware fill. It can magically erase stuff from photos in a second, a job that used to be a total headache. This frees us up, the humans, to do the big picture, strategic, creative work that AI, frankly, just can't handle.
And think about it. At every single stage of a design process like this one, AI can be a complete game changer. Imagine, in that first initiation phase, you have AI tools that instantly pull out key research insights. Or in the concept phase, you have generative AI creating hundreds of different prototypes in the time it would take you to sketch just one. The potential here is just massive.
Now, this is where things get really, really cool. Let's talk about one of the most exciting new tools out there, the synthetic user. Now, these are not your typical static personas you just tack up on a wall. Nope, these are AI agents, and they're trained on real customer data to actually behave like your users. They'll click through your app, they'll try to get things done, they'll get frustrated, they might even complain. It gives you this incredible real-time way to test everything.
This is a massive shift in how we work. I mean, traditional user research can feel like a slow, expensive marathon, right? And by the time you finally get to the finish line, the market has already moved on. This AI-powered rehearsal with synthetic users, it's like a high-speed sprint. It gives you constant insights and lets you de-risk your whole strategy before you've even written a single line of code. So using AI for practical tasks is awesome, for sure. But how do we level up? How do we elevate it from just being a tool to becoming a true creative partner? Well, for that, you need a framework, a kind of roadmap to guide the collaboration.
It all starts with phase one, sense. And in this phase, you, the human, are absolutely in the driver's seat. You're the one who sets the creative North Star. Take the amazing VR project Cities Unseen. The creators didn't just give the AI some vague prompts. No, they fed it the poetic philosophical text of Italo Calvino. They gave the AI this rich, conceptual universe to play in right from the very start.
Next up, phase two, sample. This is where you basically just unleash the AI. This phase is all about generative exploration. The goal here is not perfection, it's a creative explosion of ideas. You're actively looking for those happy accidents, those little sparks of unexpected genius that you probably never would have thought of on your own. All right, so you've got this mountain of raw, creative material. Now what? You enter phase three, shape. And this is where human curation becomes absolutely critical. You're sifting through everything from the sample phase, picking out the best bits, and starting to refine and shape them into something coherent. A great example is the design of Odette Lunette's eyewear. The AI came up with all these wild concepts, but it was the human designers who then shaped them into stylish, practical frames that actually fit the brand.
And finally, we get to phase four, stage. This is showtime. This is where your creation meets the real world. You implement the design, you release it, and then, and this is the most important part, you listen. The feedback you get here isn't the end of the story, it's the beginning of the next one.
Now, the most crucial thing to understand about this framework is that it is not a straight line. Not at all. It's a dynamic, continuous loop. The feedback you get in the stage phase, it might send you right back to the beginning to rethink your core concept in the sense phase. Or a brilliant idea that pops up while you're shaping might inspire a whole new round of sampling. It's this constant dance between creating and refining.
All of this talk about loops and dynamic processes really highlights a critical truth. For all of its incredible power, AI has some serious limitations. We're not talking about a future where AI takes over. We're talking about a partnership. And every great partnership needs a really skilled co-pilot.
And this quote from Robert Sphere at EPAM just hits the nail on the head. The moment we stop thinking for ourselves and start treating what the AI spits out as gospel truth, we're heading into some really dangerous territory. In this new world, critical thinking isn't just a nice-to-have skill. It's a survival mechanism.
And here's exactly why that critical thinking is so essential. AI models can hallucinate, which is a nice way of saying they can confidently make up complete nonsense. They don't have that deep, specialized knowledge about your specific company. Their training data can be biased or just plain old. And maybe most importantly, they are completely clueless when it comes to the complex, messy, beautiful world of human subjectivity and emotion.
So the solution is to stop thinking human versus AI and start thinking in terms of a hybrid team. Humans bring the context, the common sense, the ethics. AI brings the raw speed, the scale, the pattern recognition. It's not about which one is better, it's about how their different strengths combine to create something way more powerful than either could ever be on their own.
So where is all this heading? What does the future look like? Well, the future of pretty much all creative and technical work isn't about humans versus machines. It's about a seamless, continuous dance between human ingenuity and artificial intelligence.
This right here, this is the new workflow. It's this incredibly powerful cycle. The AI simulates possibilities, and we, the humans, validate them. Then together, we recalibrate our approach, and then we just repeat the whole process. It's a virtuous loop of constant learning and improvement.
So, what does this mean for your job? Well, the role of a product manager or a designer is changing. You're no longer just a manager or a creator. You're becoming an orchestrator. You're like a conductor, guiding this delicate, beautiful symphony between deep human insight and the powerful foresight that AI can provide.
And mastering this new art of orchestration, it's not just about working a little bit faster or being more efficient. It is about unlocking entirely new worlds of creative possibility. It's about designing things that until now were pretty much just confined to science fiction. So we have the tools. We have the roadmaps for this brand new era of human-AI collaboration. The question is no longer, can we work together? The real question is, what will we dare to create? The canvas is blank. What masterpiece are we going to design?